A must-see for so many, and at least for some time, it was in the public domain. Welcome to my channel, KC, that's me, Carrie Chug, the Sledge Storyteller, here to talk about the wonderful world of Christmas storytelling, and an all-time great, It's a Wonderful Life. And admittedly, there's hardly any more one can say that hasn't been said other than individual experience in watching it.
But as the movie's history goes, in its 1946 release, it underperformed at the box office, then it faded into obscurity. And after a failure to renew copyright, it fell into public domain in 1974. For 20 years after that, all the TV networks took advantage of its no-fee availability and started airing it for Christmas. The public fell in love with it, and of course, it became a go-to Christmas movie for many. But in 1994, Republic Pictures managed to use their claim of ownership on the original story and the music to have the Supreme Court rule that they had rightful ownership of it. Suffice it to say that Republic Pictures benefited greatly from the popularity that ensued during that public domain period. It's a character exploration that spawned the whole idea of a character's need to consider the whole world suddenly without them after being brought to the depths of despair.
And, several TV series have based entire episodes on the movie, and it's easy to see its influence on such movies as Back to the Future. Roger Ebert did.
I mentioned Capra. You know the Capra picture it reminds me of? You can probably guess. It's a Wonderful Life.
You bet.
Because here's the case, once again, of somebody finding out through some kind of magical intervention that things aren't so bad.
So you've got director Frank Capra, fresh off of World War II, who had enough of directing war propaganda movies, and he got his hands on the story and concept and scripts that had been developed by filmmakers in the RKO production company. Originally conceived in The Greatest Gift, a story Christmas card written and published by Philip Van Dorn Stern. Jimmy Stewart, also fresh off of World War II service, only in the actual heat as a bomber pilot, was, in Capra's eyes, the only man for the job in the lead role as George Bailey. He proved to be just the actor to show the kind of range going from being in super high spirits, then wading through much frustration, finding himself at the end of his rope before wondering if he's descending into sheer madness, then finally being elevated to sheer relief and joy. The supporting cast feels absolutely perfect, with Donna Reed as the sweet yet self-assured Mary, Lionel Barrymore as cold-hearted and shrewd Mr. Henry Potter, Thomas Mitchell as the klutzy Uncle Billy with the heart of gold, Peter Travers as the goofy yet innovative Clarence as an angel, and on and on and on and on. The movie brilliantly acquaints you with George Bailey from childhood to adulthood before establishing the stakes, keeping the Bailey building and loan business afloat to enable the people of Bedford Falls to find affordable housing, while Mr. Potter encircles his tentacles around everything within reach, hoping to bring down that business. We see George persevere, sacrificing so much along the way through the Depression and World War II. The bottom falls out on the Bailey building and loan, and it is here where Angel Clarence intervenes to give George the ultimate gift, showing him Pottersville, the yin to the Bedford Falls yang, a world where George never existed. Now, I'll be the first to admit that enjoying this part of the movie means not overthinking things with a butterfly effect in mind when it comes to some of these events, and for me, it's worth doing just to keep the perspective of what it means that one person can make a difference. Upon his return to the world, he knew you totally buy into the people of Bedford Falls all pitching in to save him and the business from ruin. And Clarence's final message to George is guaranteed to bring tears.
Now, my first experience watching it was an in-class viewing when I was in the 9th grade, and of course I fell in love with it. Now, somehow this movie had flown under my radar all years prior, because I noticed during the Christmas season in 1989 how seemingly every TV network was playing it, including PBS stations, because of course it was then still in public domain. Now, I made sure that it was a ready holiday option for me by buying the DVD over a decade ago, and it gives so much emotional fulfillment and that sense one often gets during this holiday season to give of what you can. But that's my take on It's a Wonderful Life. Thank you for watching. Agree, disagree, or something I left out, please let me know in the comment section. I'll keep saying it. And even in the spirit of the season, let's all look for civility amid all the bad news out there about social and political strife. Let's not hate, and let's find friends wherever we may go. Everyone be safe, and God bless us, everyone.